You're not gonna go there, are you?
Oh, yes, I am. Right here on this map, if you were to point in the United States, we even have a chef over here. If you were to point in the United States, where is the ice cream capital of the country, where do you think it would be? You're standing in it, Long Beach, Long Beach, Long Beach, Long Beach. Well, you're sitting in it. I'm standing in it. Knee deep in it, honey. Long Beach, California is the ice cream capital of the world. But, no, actually of the United States. But, ice cream is expensive here. $3 a scoop at the creamery and other places. Is it worth it? Probably, but if you've got a family of 4, it's kind of like going to Disneyland. You don't want to have to use a credit card to buy your family ice cream. Well, guess what? You can make it. It's the summer when we're filming this. Note the sweat. Global warming's a myth. Feeding your family ice cream can get really expensive. You don't want to buy the cheap stuff in the store. It should only have 4 ingredients. Well, guess what? One of the great things to do in the summer or the winter is run down to the thrift store and get an ice cream maker. There's always one in the thrift store. Get whichever one you like, find the instructions online for it, and I'm gonna give you the recipe the only one recipe, just one, that you'll need to make any kind of ice cream that you want, be it salted caramel or butterscotch or banana or strawberry. This one recipe will tell you how to make it all. Let's go into the kitchen at Park Howard with Cooking for the 99. Oh yes, Miss Ember, let's go. First of all, you know, I don't care where you are, when you are. For me, right now, it is summer. The first day happened with record-breaking heats in Southern California. Global warming is here to stay. Ain't nothing we can do about that but get up in the kitchen. That's right. I am in Long Beach, California, and this city has a dubious award. Is it an award? I guess it's an award. Recognition, honor. Not that I live here, although that is a dubious honor for it. No, this city, my city, right outside this window, is the largest consumer of ice cream in the entire United States. That's right, we eat more of the stuff than any of you witches out there. So I thought on the first day of summer, we should come up inside the kitchen, and I'm gonna show you the ultimate way to make ice cream. Gourmet ice cream for your family for under $10 for everybody. This is enough gourmet ice cream. It would be like $50 at the store. It'd be like so many little pints of Haagen-Dazs, your head would spin. But I'm gonna show you how with just all of this fat right here, lots of fat and sugar. That's what ice cream is. If you don't like it, don't eat it. We ain't making low-cal. We ain't making no fat. Honey, we got cream, okay? But I wanted to give you a little info because that's what we do here on Life in Segments. The top 10 ice cream consuming cities, starting at the bottom, actually just number 10, is Portland, Oregon. You're number 10 for ice cream. Fresno, California. I don't know where the hell you buy it, but you're number 9. Bakersfield, where it gets to be 147 in the shade, and the cows know it. Number 8. Number 7, Washington, D.C. Y'all eat some ice cream. Yeah, the Congress. They don't do anything else. Send their interns out for ice cream. Fort Worth, Texas at number 6. Number 5, Milwaukee, of all places. Does it go with beer? Columbus, Ohio, in at number 4. Number 3, Philadelphia. Philadelphia freedom. You want some ice cream, baby. Shine the light. Dallas, Texas, where Karen lives. Do you hear me, Karen? She's number 2. And number 1, Long Beach, California. As for ice cream consuming states, here, as you can see on the lovely iPad Pro, District of Columbia, Rhode Island, Wisconsin, Massachusetts, Texas, Connecticut, Delaware, Utah, New Hampshire, and Kansas. So those are the states that consume the ice cream. So I'm going to show you how to make an ice cream base that you can then turn into any kind of ice cream you want, and we're going to freeze it in a fabulous little freezer that I have made by a company called Cuisinart. But you don't have to have a Cuisinart. You can go to the thrift store and you can get an ice cream maker for about $5. At the beginning of summer, every summer, go get an ice cream maker at the thrift store. Then, at the end of summer, give it back to another thrift store, and next year, go get yourself another one. I keep mine because it was a little pricey. But it is a Cuisinart countertop, and you get them. These are made by many different manufacturers, and you put a pre-frozen tub in there. It's in my freezer. We'll show you that when we get to the freezing portion. So I wanted to have this out for you, but I'll set it over here now. Okay, so a lot of you might wonder, is there a great mystery to ice cream? Here's the great mystery to ice cream. It's frozen fat. Okay, that's really all it is. It is high caloric, it is high in fat, it is meant as a delicacy. We're gonna make, do you guys know what we're gonna make? Oh, you won't be here tomorrow when I do it. We're gonna make salted caramel vanilla custard ice cream. And let me show you how. The first thing we're gonna do is take a good sized skillet, saucepan, turn on your gas, click, 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 and heat that up. We're gonna take 3/4 of a cup, here with my damn, I'll never get over that. I paid $30 for these. I might go to my grave and say, bury me with the damn things, with the spoons. I'm going to use brown sugar for the salted caramel ice cream because I love brown sugar. So you're going to take, has a little more molasses in it and stuff. And why don't you have, you know, these for your kitchen, for your stuff, so you can see everything. It's regular sugar over here. Okay, so we're going to take that. We're going to start that heating. We need our measuring. 3 tablespoons. I saw Miss Ember. Got to watch for dogs under your feet. So, let's get a little water going there. Okay, so in our skillet here, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Let's toss it up in there. And then 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. I think it needs a little more. 4 tablespoons of water. I made some notes over here. It says 3 tablespoons. I think at the time I wasn't thinking properly. So we'll put 4 in. You can just whisk it around in the pan like this, if you'd like. Mix it all up. And now what you want to do is actually make caramel. Do you all know what caramel is? Do you know what caramel is? You do. Don't you know what you work at a Starbucks, you have to know what caramel is. It's just sugar. It's just melted sugar. That's all caramel is. You can make a delicious caramel out of the sweetened condensed milk. You can boil that down and it will turn into a delicious caramel sauce. Right now though, I'm just whisking up some brown sugar and some water. And we're going to let this really cook down for a minute. Okay. I have made delicious caramel sauce right here. Look at that. There is delicious caramel right there out of 4 tablespoons of water and some brown sugar. So now that I have this delicious caramel, which will flavor the ice cream, I'm going to make the custard base, which will then refrigerate overnight and freeze in our freezer tomorrow, in our ice cream maker tomorrow. So you have time today to make this by going to, all you have to do, you can find this recipe everywhere, but it'll be on my website, reallykarel.com. So you can go and make this today, the custard and everything today, and then still find an ice cream maker overnight. So, now that we have the custard, or I mean the caramel. Oh, God, okay. Now we are going to take 2 cups of heavy cream because fat is flavor. So, 2 cups. Look at that. 1 cup. 2 cups. That's marvelous. Of heavy cream. And we're going to take 1 cup of whole milk. None of this whole fat bull crap. We want whole U.S. American milk. You can go organic, no hormones, all that stuff. That'll be good for you. And it says 2/3 cup sugar. We're going to cut that back to 1/2 cup because of the amount of sugar in our caramel. After all, we don't want the ice cream, to be too cracked out sugary. The salt in the salted caramel is not going to come until tomorrow when we freeze it. My Apple Watch just told me I met my standing goal for the day. So applause for me. All right, so just a pinch of salt in this. Where's my sea salt? Here it is. I am. Okay. So now you're going to cook this into basically a custard about 5 minutes. Now, we also need 6 egg yolks because you don't use egg whites in custard. You use egg yolks. So, as this starts to heat up and I'm mixing up the caramel with it, oh, how marvelous. So as this starts to heat, I'll let that heat up just a minute on a medium heat. All right? Sorry, Miss M, you know how you're right under my feet. I need 6 egg yolks, which means I got to separate some eggs. That's why I got the 2 bowls here. You don't need anything to separate eggs except the egg. You break it. You put the yolk on one side. You let the egg white fall into the thing. You can like cut it off a little there. Go back and forth with it to get all the egg white off of it. There are some people who can do this with one hand. We hate them. So there's 1 egg yolk. You got to do this for 6 of them. It's a thankless job. No, you'll be thanking me when you eat the ice cream. That's what you'll be thanking me. And this is when I use my time in the kitchen, really, to plan my topics, think about life. Really, I do. This is where I think a lot about what's going on in the world and how I feel about it, because you're cooking, you know, and I'm making a treat here for summer, you know, and the summers are hotter here in Long Beach. I've had a lot to think about, whether I want to stay in this ice cream capital of the world, because I don't like the extreme heat. And the first day of summer here was 105 degrees. And I don't like that very much. All the ice cream in the world ain't going to help me with that. So, oops. Don't want to get a shell in there. And don't be embarrassed if you have a little shell. It doesn't matter. That yolk wanted to break up. Cheap eggs, what can you do? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's true about cheap eggs. If you buy expensive eggs or good eggs from a farm, a farmer's market or whatever, the yolks are going to be firm and beautiful. The whites will be lovely and viscous and just come right off, and it'll be all fabulous. If you buy 50 eggs for $1, well, you get the chickens you get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more. 6. So, there are devices that'll do this for you, but why? I just did it with the shells. Just back and forth, back and forth. And off with the whites. There we go. Okay. I keep a strainer in my sink. That way I put all this debris in there, and at the end I throw it all away. That water is so hot it would scald you. It really is. All right. Now, where's my whisk? We are going to take a quick moment, and we're going to start to let this custard heat up. We're going to cook it for about 5 minutes. When it's ready, we're going to mix some of the hot custard mix with this egg yolk and whisk it around and then add it back. Now, the reason we do that is you don't want to make scrambled eggs. Okay, you want to make custard. Then we have this bowl over here in the sink, which we're going to fill with ice and water and this ramekin. And when this mixture has heated up and is ready to go and been mixed with the egg, we're going to put this ramekin in the cold water and chill it down. That's because you must cool your eggs quickly in the custard, or again, you'll simply be making a quiche. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to cook this for just a minute. The salted, or the caramel has dissolved. I bet if I tasted it right now, it would taste so frickin' delicious because it's just fat. And it's heating up. You want to, the consistency, once you add the eggs, and you'll see in a minute, you're going to cook it until it coats the back of a metal spoon. If you cook it anything beyond that, you're going to cook the eggs just too much, okay? So while this is still heating up, I'm going to get my cold water bath ready. Let's just booze it up with some cream, baby. I'm hitting the 100%, 100 proof. This isn't half and half. This ain't no skim, baby. I'm hitting the 100 proof. Oh, woe is me. I'm fat as can be. I'll go lay in the yard because I look like I eat lard. And I will if I'm having this next. Do you know if I shook this For like 30 minutes, I'm not making this up, it turned to butter. And there'd be buttermilk in there too. Not making it up. I love this stuff. I love you. Do you know if I took this and mixed it together, I'd have half and half. Ah, that's what it is. I actually do make my own half and half. Well, that's why. And that's why I'm saying you can do this cheaply, because you'll have leftovers, and with the leftovers you can make half and half, you can make other treats. All right, I put my spoon back in there because I used a metal spoon to make the caramel, and some of the caramel stuck to the metal spoon. Now this is nice and hot. You don't want to burn your cream or anything. I'm going to move it from the heat for just a minute. Just a quick second. I'm going to whisk me some eggs, baby, and think about what a moron Donald Trump is, how the Republicans blocked gun control after the biggest gay hate crime in history, how we don't have a House of Congress anymore, or a voice in Congress for the people, so we got to vote them all out. These are the things I think about when I'm whisking. Look how beautiful that is. See, that's going to be the color of your custard and your ice cream. So you take this here, your whisked up eggs, and you take a good amount of your milk mixture. In fact, if you're me, you would pour this in there. They tell you to use a measuring cup. You're going to pour about a third of that in there. And now what you're doing is you're heating the yolks without turning them into scrambled eggs, is what you're really doing. Now you might see a little cooked egg. You're going to have to keep stirring quickly. Now you're going to return this back to this, right, Ember? Over a medium heat. This is where you get your metal spoon. I happen to have a big one right here. And when it sticks to the back, you're pretty much ready to go. What you're going to do is run it through a strainer if you're following directions. If you're me, you've never done it once and never had a problem, but you're going to run it through into this ramekin, or a ramekin like it, or a bowl in your kitchen. This now has the ice in it. I'm going to set that in there, fill this with water, of course. I'll transfer that to here when that's ready to be in here. Just a minute. I'm a clean-as-you-go kind of guy. Can always take a minute of cooking time to help with your own cleaning. After all, it's your filth. All right, this is going to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5. It's going to get to about 160 to 170 for those of you who are purists, maybe 180. You do not want it to get to 212, which is boiling, okay? You don't want to do that. Do not boil your cream. Once I was with someone on the Riviera, and they said, darling, boil the cream, and I knew immediately they were Euro trash. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, it's getting all custardy. Oh, and it's caramel colored. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I made lemon custard ice cream, because Karen said she loved it. I made that last week. I'll do that on one of the other shows. Well, basically, let me just tell you how to do it. You would make this base without the caramel, okay? The base is everything except the caramel at the beginning. So the cream, the milk, the egg yolk, the sugar. That's your custard base. So you would make that base, and then you can add vanilla. I'm going to add a little vanilla to this, by the way. You could add vanilla. You could add lemon curd, which you would make a lemon curd, and then add that. So you could add just about anything you wanted. This is getting so close to being ready to be custard. See that? Do you see it's coating the back of the spoon? Do you see how it coats it? We are so close. It drips off just a little too quickly, but we're very close. And by the way, when you're making a tart in the store, or anything like that, if anything that's had a custard in it, this is how they made it. Someone somewhere did this for you. They took fat, some more fat, some cholesterol, and some sugar. And that's all custard is. Fat, more fat, cholesterol, sugar. And those are the things that make the world go round at this point. Can you all see the rich color? Can you see how beautiful this is going to be when it becomes ice cream? So let me tell you the most frustrating part. You have to do this the day before. at least 6 hours before you want to freeze it in your ice cream freezer. Because all ice cream really is another substance that's been turned into a frozen dessert. For instance, you could take Greek yogurt right out of your refrigerator, put it in the freezer there with some fruit and a little maple syrup, and you've got frozen yogurt. It's not, making ice cream isn't hard at all. It's not. Although, do y'all think this is hard? Has this been hard to you guys? Would either of you ever do this as a straight, 20-plus-year-old? It's the first day of summer. Wouldn't you make ice cream? You wouldn't. Either of you, neither. But what about when you taste this and you realize how good it is and how expensive it would have been for your family? Because this is going to be 8 servings. So when you consider that that's like $50 worth of ice cream,